Mom, listen, maybe Santos is right. Maybe this is the time to take care of this mess once and for all, to see who and what's right. Mija, don't you think I would if I could? I should know, don't you think? I was married to both of them. But I never have because my darlings, they were both sons of bitches. Sure, I may have loved them, one more than the other, maybe the same. But they both cheated me and you out of the lives we might have had. I gave you life. Carlos gave you the blood in your veins, and Guillermo gave you the heart that pumps that blood. And they both took that all away. Ma, stop. I'm sorry. I know that things were bad at times. I guess we just have to realize they were both our fathers. Damn it! There you go again. No, Carlito, they were not both our fathers. They couldn't be. Not the way you behaved. Carlos was your dad. You didn't, and you don't deserve to call Guillermo father or have him as your father. Not the way you treated him. Santos, that's not fair. It was a different time. We were young. I don't care. Dad deserved better. My name is Richard Soto, and that's the next of my play. Working title was Mis Padres Murieron, now titled Mis Fathers Murieron. When I found out about Breath of Fire was a few years back from Sarah Guerrero, who is the artistic director and founder. We're colleagues at South Coast Repertory Theater, where we both teach. We're instructors in the conservatory. And she had mentioned the idea of me coming in and bringing some of my talent to teach stage combat, which is one of the skills that I have. And then I got involved in also helping the group do a teaching workshop as well. Later on, through the auspices of South Coast Repertory, we were both involved in the Alagos, which is a project to go into Santa Ana and connect with the community and tell their story. So I was a teaching artist there, and that is how we first met. It is important to have Breath of Fire in Santa Ana because it follows through with what the idea originally the Alagos was about, which was to introduce theater arts to a community that does not necessarily have a voice. They have many stories to tell. We all do. It's a universal thing. And it was a wonderful thing to be able to go into their community, learn about them, and then teach them in a way what theater was like and how to tell their stories, writing, performing, and getting together as an ensemble, as a community. Breath of Fire continues to do that. Breath of Fire continues to provide an opportunity for this community to find and develop its creative voice, to continue to expand, including more and more of the community so that they feel empowered to tell their stories. Having theater presented bilingually, whether it's English and Spanish or Spanglish, as it were, is important because it resonates. It resonates with the audience that is watching it. For example, when I watch TV, I grew up with television and theater and the idea of, Mission Impossible and West Side Story and Cinderella, etc. But when I saw La Bamba, the film by Luis Valdez, when I see on television the One Day at a Time remake on Netflix, which brings in language and characters and situations that are comparable or resonate with my life, it connects with me. It's a story that's being told for me, about me, and it includes me. That's what's happening in that community. It makes them feel a part of the process of the human condition. I started writing, I'd say about 20 years ago. I came out here to the Los Angeles area predominantly to be an actor. I am an actor, and to, exercise that trade. At a certain point, I decided I had an idea and I wanted to put it down, and I literally put it down in a matter of days. It was several pages. I wrote this idea down. It was a play meant for children. I never thought of myself as a playwright per se. I just wanted to get something down. Through the encouragement of people that I know, my family, not just having read that, but knowing me, they encouraged me to continue to pursue the writing thing. So it's still a journey. I still don't consider myself always worthy of the moniker playwright. I'm still trying to instill in myself one of the things that makes anything worthwhile and successful is discipline. I'll write, and then there'll be long periods where I let it go. But it's important that anything you want to do, whether it's acting or the writing or anything else, that you have to have a stick-to-itiveness to it. When I fell in love with playwriting was when I was encouraged by a well-known playwright and a very good friend of mine, a mentor, Jose Cruz Gonzalez. He invited me into his inaugural group, Palabras, which basically words, which is what it's all about. It's putting the words together. And he's a very nurturing, a very mentoring individual, loving man, generous with his time and his words. And he got more out of that original play that I had mentioned earlier than I ever imagined. And we got a chance to read it. And subsequently, I like the idea of putting together words. I like the idea of listening and finding out what clicks. Not that the words necessarily go together in a correct way, but that they sound like thoughts and feelings, the truth coming from characters, which is like it's bringing something to life. It's for a playwright, that's the cool thing. For me, it is. My play, it's the story of a family. In this case, 4, Cecilia, the mother, the matriarch, and her son, Carlos Jr., her second son, Santos, and her daughter, Rosa, who are getting together at Cecilia's home to deal with the burial of not only the biological father of the children, Carlos Sr., but the stepfather, Guillermo. And the idea is, while they both were a part of bringing them into the world and through the world, there's still the argument amongst the family as to their role, who deserves to be called the father, not just simply the biological dad and the stepdad, but who held the significant role in nurturing these people into the lives they have. And there's a lot of upheaval, discovery of each of the selves. We bring out a lot of skeletons that have been held in the closet. It's autobiographical. My biological father, I'm very close to. I spend a lot of time with him when I can, but there's still a distance. He didn't bring me up, or my brothers and sisters. And I have a conflicted relationship with my stepfather, whom I rebelled against and fought against when he came into my life at a very difficult time. The divorce and the breakup of the original marriage. But I love the man. I love the man very much. I owe them both a lot, and this is my voice on how to handle what I've got going inside of me. And I'm sure that that's the whole thing behind the writing. It's universal. I'm not the only one with a broken family. I'm not the only one with a stepfather, and I'm probably not the only one that's asking these questions. I want the audience to get from my play that we're all human, and while we may make mistakes in our attempt to get things right, there will be a lot of love involved. There will be a lot of heartache, because we are human. There is no blueprint for what we do, this thing called life. There's no blueprint for it. We have patterns that we try and pay attention to, like the weather. We can't predict it, but we can sort of like guess based on past patterns. And maybe my play will let somebody else who's going through something analogous similar, or, sort of kind of maybe feel that they're not alone and they're like, yeah, I've had those thoughts too. And I guess that's something to think about as well. Why do I have to act and why do I have to write? I have to act because I've got a spirit inside of me that wants to inhabit the souls of all these things that are inside of me, and that's how I express it. Similarly, I have to write because that spirit, rather than come out in the form of me performing the character, I have the idea, I have the words, and I'm learning, as I said earlier, about, really inhabiting the role of a playwright, that there's a very cool thing watching another actor bring to life words that you started the process with. It's a collaboration. I've got this idea as a playwright. I leave it, it's like a handoff in a track, right? I hand off the baton to the actor and they take it, and I'm thrilled that they bring their soul to it. Something that I decided not to do. I just wanted to provide the thoughts, the ideas, and they provide that soul that I spoke of earlier as far as an actor. Teaching and watching people, whether I'm teaching acting or I'm teaching in any aspect, for me, it is a wonderful thing. Watching, that is a very difficult thing in me. There's a conflict. I love acting because it's my voice, but there's something very liberating and very grateful about being able to communicate to another human being that it's okay to let your soul out, to reveal yourself, your inner self, and to watch that. What you're watching is courage. You're watching a human being grow, and you're watching them experience the emotions that go from them that they're capable of releasing. It's a really nurturing thing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. It's why I love acting, but there are times when I could sit back and put the acting on the back burner to watch these individuals who don't often get a voice, that creative expression, and I think it helps make the world a better place. The one thing I'd like to say is that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the encouragement and the love and the strength of individuals like Sarah Guerrero, Diana Burbano, Jose Cruz Gonzalez, my own wife, who is an artist in her own right. These people have been the ones that have told me, like I'm trying to do to others when I teach, go ahead, you have a voice. Nobody has to give you permission to be creative. Just, they have given me the words to find the courage to be able to go down this path. And I'm very grateful for Breath of Fire and the opportunities that it's provided me and the people that I've gotten a chance to meet. It's connected me with a part of my culture that I'm not always in touch with. And I'm grateful for that. It's a great place. Why do you have to come and see the Breath of Fire writing festival? It's because you're going to witness birth. You're going to witness an event of a creative spirit being born in a community that previously didn't quite have it, is still identifying it and nurturing it. You're going to see people's coming together. You're going to see community. You're going to see creativity. You're going to see collaboration. You're going to see walls come down between individuals to tell stories that we all have in common. Plays and stories tell the human condition. And it doesn't matter race, it doesn't matter creed, color. We are all of the human spectrum, and everybody has a story that's worth telling. And it takes courage to get out there, and it's a beautiful thing to watch.